Hello and welcome back to round 2 coverage from the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship. We are at Milo, McIver for day 2, presented by Latitude 64. You're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
That guy over there, he's still holding it down. He is playing great disc golf, and I am here for it, and you're here for it too. So yeah, 27 holes in and a 16 under, which is what I was just saying. If I'm back in the front 9, that's a good mark to be at through 2 rounds in total. So we got 9 more holes. Hopefully can get that thing a little bit lower heading into the weekend, where we're going to switch courses from Mile McIver over to Glendevere. Starting off with a tricky one. Hole 10's par 3, 390 up this shelf and then flat the rest of the way, but low ceiling, narrow fairway, really tough to get the disc to flip up at the right time and then continue straight without going too far left and having an obstructed putt.
I'm almost sure that when the Worlds comes here in 2027, it's going to be par 4 straight on through to that next basket that you can see as you walk out.
Have they been talking about that?
I just have a feeling it's cleared out in a way that makes me think they're doing more than just talking.
They got something.
They're thinking about it.
Paul flips it up. It's wide. It's getting the skip.
Dude, that's so great. That's so great.
I think it's even girt.
It's girt great. You got to get maybe a little kneeling putt, but
yeah, I mean,
very well thrown.
Yeah, that's as good as I'm gonna do. Really, I don't have the power to flip something up super flat and straight.
Oh man,
you know, like this has the power to penetrate through there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty common result for a great shot for Ricky. It's gonna be a tough putt, but very well thrown. Looks a bit wide for Bradley, and it is. Eagle hasn't had anything besides pars for a while, as indicated by that scorecard down there. Love to get something going. He's kind of dropping. Yeah, he's dropped down to 22nd place. No bogeys. But that's what not birdieing is going to do for you on a day when the weather is as nice as it is today.
Yeah, and he's going to be faced with that familiar no man's land type of distance, probably 65 feet or so.
Yeah, yesterday I remember seeing some posts about people posting about their par rounds. I think Luke Taylor was one of them who carded 15 of them with 3 birdies. And he was able to turn that around, but
sure was.
Just shows you that's a normal thing out here.
Yeah. Eagle going to see if he can get a highlight putt here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Airspace to give it height. And he's done that. Oh, man.
Man.
Looks so good.
Oh.
Sometimes golf isn't fair in that you have to use an entire stroke now to finish that out. Like it was so good, you know? It's like the difference between a 2 and a 3 is massive.
And that is a huge putt. Paul not letting his foot off the gas.
Yeah, feeling it right now.
Yeah, it was just inside the circle. That's where I'm most comfortable. I had a little branch in my way, but snuck it in on the right side there. Ricky has a really awkward putt here. And he figures it out, you know? Like, how many times have you seen him go top right shoulder with the right hand and makes it?
Yeah.
I don't think you're making that putt if you're, less than 6 foot.
Yeah, maybe not.
You know, it just looked like he really needed all of his height and width to be able to get out to a spot where he still had a very awkward release, and just the creativity and the athleticism to manufacture a good putt out of there is impressive.
Well, just to place your disc in a different spot than you're used to on your downstroke is so difficult.
Gannon, he is, I believe, 6 under through the first 10 holes. Why did that look that easy?
Yeah.
That looked entirely too easy to be acceptable. that other people aren't doing that too. I mean, you called out Brad on his putt on hole 2.
Yeah.
That one hit a little limb.
It did. I think it was in without the limb.
I think so too.
But I don't know about Brad's. I don't.
Okay.
Maybe, but
Okay.
I'm telling you, sitting behind him, we heard a distinct tick. And usually,
And he said don't call it out, and we brought it up twice.
oh, I'm gonna keep doing it because it was awesome.
Hole 11, you got to make it out to the right side, swing it back to the center, and then send in a big forehand, usually right around 350 feet to get over these logs here at the bottom of the hill.
And I actually didn't even notice I hit that. So, way to call me out.
You got it. Fair's fair. This is what you want off the tee.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that as well. Similar to how you threw it on the last big downhill hole where you sort of think about it as this flexing, moving shot. You're just kind of hammering it straight. See, Ricky being a little bit more careful about the tree. But I think when you're confident the way you're throwing, just playing that point to point.
Right.
Kind of shocked that Brad threw this one perfect, the way that he's been throwing every shot perfect for the last 18 years. Not a ton of distance, but just the fairway couldn't have been any wider as that thing was making its way around the corner.
Yeah, and he needs a birdie as well. He's on a nice little par streak
You're right.
himself.
Well, that's a good setup there for Eagle. He's been liking a forehand from that range. Good opportunity to turn those grays into green. He's the first up. It's kind of surprising.
Very nice.
Very nice, yep. He'd love for that first birdie to be a drop-in, though, after all this time that has passed since that first birdie on hole 1.
This could be a little short. Yeah, I didn't like how it never was flat. It's still going to putt, but rolling the dice a little more than he might have liked. See, Rick gets a little bit of flatness to start the shot, extends it a bit more.
Like that.
He's going to have another one of those awkward putts, I think, over there. Similar as the last hole.
What was the range here Brad gave you?
It was 295 to the log.
Oh, my goodness, man.
So, pretty stock, you know.
Yeah.
You got another tap-in birdie coming.
Yeah, notice how I went last there. Just absolutely missiled it off the tee.
The difference is that flex. Because
Yeah.
if they put that ante on it, it's not going to skip with any fury.
Yeah.
And you're moving it around the corner, really taking the big skip, reaping the benefits, parking your approach. Oh,
Yeah, that's good
looked
effort.
Good.
Yeah, I think he caught the branch up there. He was talking about it, that it was in without it. But you put yourself in that position over there, and you got to deal with a lot of them.
All right, this 22-footer might feel closer to 30. Oh, yeah, that's a putt of someone who hasn't felt a birdie in a while, but
He's got time.
he's got time, correct. And also worth noting, he's won not only here in Milo, he's won at Glendoveer. Man who is very, very capable of putting down hot rounds at both these courses here in Portland.
Yeah, see, a little not easy in there.
Yeah.
It looked a lot shorter. And then when, he's a big guy. When he got in there, he was having a kind of a tough time to get into position.
If he was a Batman villain, he'd be the scrambler.
I like that.
He just figures out ways to get it done from the weirdest places, man.
Corey Ellis looks like he's lining up for the middle route, and this I don't think they make them much better than that.
If they do, it looks like
yesterday, yeah.
Culver Dollins.
You got to throw that to the moon, though.
Yeah, you do.
He just boosted that thing.
Great birdie for Corey.
Maybe no one follows through with as much enthusiasm and emphasis as Corey Ellis. He really sends his hand not only on his drive, but his putt as well.
Ooh, there's a good shot. And, you know, he's been trending lately. Playing a lot of good rounds. Had a nice little, I think, 9 under last round at Cascade. So,
and I think he bogeyed 18 during round 1. I think that's what kept him from being on the lead card today.
Surprising how many people split those trees with the forehand. Like a ton.
Yeah, Gannon took those trees on yesterday and did not split them, but today got through.
I've done it a ton of times, never on purpose. But, you know, you just throw it up there in the area. And it is amazing how often you can kind of ping pong your way through there and park it.
We haven't really talked about Paul McBeth, but he is currently 9 under through, I believe, 14 holes. I think I read that correctly. Well, I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit this season, but Paul, healthy again, playing high level disc golf. Still very hungry for that Elite Series win that escaped him the entire 2024 season.
I played with McBeth today. He was really playing great. The card was relaxed. He was just kind of doing his thing, stacking birdies.
The low play for the secure par with an outside chance of making a long one.
Yeah, you know, I used to go high here, and I took too many bogeys.
Yeah.
I would get it every once in a while, but you see more and more people doing this play right
look
here.
At Rick.
And Rick has plenty of power to go
Plenty.
high.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised by that.
This one's moon. Aiming towards the moon. And this is going to be so high that they're not going to be able
Yeah, I
to.
was going to say, the cameras don't even, they still don't have the technology to go that high up yet.
No, it was the highest shot I might have ever seen.
Whoa.
Like, it was so high that at one point it was within 30 feet of the bucket there and went backwards a bit. And he got claps because of how high it was.
Yeah.
Not because it was good, but everybody was like,
yeah.
They go that way?
Yeah.
Those are T-pad claps, not basket claps.
Yeah, what is it? Ledgestone, they have the
That
water tower.
Water tower, yeah.
He would have made it over the water tower.
Oh, my
Pretty
goodness.
positive.
I remember when he threw, we're not playing the hole this time, the combined hole 1 to 2.
Oh, yes.
And he threw one there that was like over the corner. And you're just those. There's parts of the country where you can throw over the trees. This is not one of them. And he was still finding a way to just take that fairway in the sky.
All right, we got several putts from around this length coming up here with Brad first. Oh, drop it in from distance.
Yeah, he would.
And he's been so close in the last few holes from deep.
He's just been working up to making that one. That was sweet. Got to see a long bomb here from Isaac yesterday. Roughly the same distance, actually. It's just so fun to make at least one of those a tournament. Just something to remember. Get in.
Oh,
no, close.
almost.
Yeah, that was close.
Almost got it.
Good effort.
Yep.
Those two looked a little different.
Yeah. You know, if you're playing the layup play to 80, like, lay the next one up.
Yeah.
You know, you're playing kind of for a little par. These guys just chuck it in from 80.
man.
For sure.
That
For
is
sure.
so good.
Once you're playing for par, it's almost disrespectful to
Yeah,
knock
don't
down the
try to
80-footer.
go.
Like, just stay.
Yeah.
Just do what you set out to do.
Oh, man.
You don't want to play this dishonest game.
No.
Well, we just witnessed 25% of the entire field's birdies on hole 12.
Just 8?
And yesterday we saw 2 birdies on this hole as well.
Wow.
And Simon missed a putt inside the circle that would have been 3 birdies. So, I mean, if you're on Jomez and you're playing hole 12, you're probably going to get a birdie. It's a 50-50 shot.
Dang it. Missed the boat.
There. And then back, stop.
So what's the timing here?
In 3, 2,
Hey, Paul! Good to see you.
hey.
Hole 13, par 3, just 230 feet. You've got the turnover putter backhand right through this middle line, or if you take the farthest left gap, forehand, mid-range, or driver. One of those holes that is a must get. You have to find a way to get up here and walk out with birdie.
Was Macbeth's ace in 2014 on this hole the most nonchalant ace you've ever seen in your life?
He was so locked in. It was, I was on that card. And I remember just being like, I'm not even going to give him a high five. He's so scary right
I wouldn't
now.
want to. I wouldn't want to bother him.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
I wouldn't want to touch him with my greasy little hands. Not when he's doing that.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
After he did it, he
sometimes.
was, doing his thing where he blows on his fingers. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's terrifying.
Needed every single stroke that he could get the whole tournament just to go into a playoff and take down Ricky in it. One of the most epic playoffs of all time. If you haven't watched any coverage from that, it's definitely worth pausing this and going and watching that. And come right back.
Yeah, so far, nothing good.
No, surprising.
Yours isn't too bad, is it?
It wasn't. We're all about the same spot. I'm barely in the circle, but I got like a straddle awkward.
Okay.
But it's not what you want. That's what you want on
Yeah,
this
there's a good one.
I love Eagles line. Not taking on the 2 trees, the little tiny flip up, a little bit of fade at the end.
Yeah, it's the pure line, but it's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Whoa.
He thought it spit out. That's
It
why he
looked
had
like
that.
it almost
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And I don't think he could really see it that well from his position there.
Huge back-to-back putts for Brad.
Let's see. We're going to see it.
So the
Great
sec-
little angle here. So how much? It looked like it got sideways quick, and it sure did.
Oh,
wow.
That spit in.
Okay. Yeah.
Just catches.
Back-to-back beauties from Brad.
Okay, all right. That was intense.
Yeah, jeez. What did I do?
Ricky for a highlight putt. Man, what is going on now? This is awesome.
Yeah, those. He's not getting big putted by Brad, we decided.
Well, there's a whole disc retrieval thing that he's still got to work on, but everything else is pretty good.
Great. I mean, this is another one where you got to be a big dude to get out to where he was to have an angle at it. And so far, he's made some spectacular putts today. Hole 3, grabbed the mini before it even was in.
Yeah, that was...
I think important
time.
to realize that they don't pay you any money for taking them out of the baskets.
Dude, we're going to get a star frame, and Eagle's the
yeah.
only good drive.
Yeah, so I don't know that Rick needs to practice it much, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, all right.
You know, you don't really make a name for yourself pulling them out of there.
But picking up, it's just so weird. I've played sports with him, and the guy's an insane freak athlete. It can't be that difficult.
He's so
Secure the catch.
He's so busy with the task at hand, I think.
All right.
Checking in. Kyle Klein.
Big.
This is going to be
Long?
coming into the trees. No, go in the hole. Why don't you?
That
Wow.
is understanding your disc's flight at a high shot. That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just think I don't want to skip over hole 13 without reminding people about one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life that happened last year at this event, where Holly Finley got the ace on this hole.
Yeah.
It was on Noah 5-Ash's birthday. I'm playing with Noah 5-Ash. We get to that hole. He aces that hole. They're a couple. They ace the same hole the same day on one of their birthdays. Astronomical odds.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things I've ever witnessed.
That is incredible. 14, 323-foot par 3. You see the flex forehand and you see the turnover backhand. It's all about which side of that prominent tree in the center of the fairway you want to go. I think the forehand is the cleaner line, the backhand, the shorter shot, if you can sneak something through those smaller trees. Ricky's going to try to take it left side, and he's doing that. Not quite.
Man,
Thought he had made it.
that is as close as you can get to just an absolute park job.
Right on cue, Brad will show us the other option.
It's just kind of a roll of the dice sometimes going with this line.
Yeah.
Heading right for it. He threw it the way he wanted. It's just, like you said, it's a roll the dice.
Oh, come on.
Which tree is that even coming off of?
Yeah, it was just a random little limb. That thing was going to be really good.
I liked the way that looked.
But I think that thing was there before I stepped on the pad. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it didn't. It was growing, but I don't know if it grew that fast.
Yeah.
Certainly could have thrown it a little lower.
No.
Never.
I would have loved to.
Yeah.
Eagle doing some
Maintenance.
crafting.
Yep.
And
So
not-
this is a horrible spot. There's
Yeah.
1,000 little tiny spots to go.
Yeah.
no big spots. Ugh.
Gonna have to earn it.
Yeah.
Pretty well thrown. I mean, you didn't even hit the tree, really. You just hit the little shrubbery.
Not bad.
Yeah, nice looking run.
Ricky always not afraid to give it a little bidski.
Can Brad do it again? Got to be feeling pretty good after the putts on 12 and 13 and nearly knocks down a third in a row from deep C2.
I would love to know, and I know this is not an available statistic, but somebody out there, like, what's the most holes in a row hitting a C2 putt? Like maybe 5? Like, sometimes you get
Do they
guys.
all have to be for? Oh boy! And that's the first bogey of the
no.
tournament.
Yeah, it was inevitable walking up to that. Hit the branch, it's an easy way to take you out of your flow. And I remember thinking, walking up to the putt, like, man, this feels so tough. Why does it feel so
Yes,
tough? And it's
yes.
after those things. And then you catch the little bush coming in. It makes those putts really hard. And nothing had gone wrong the whole day.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything was right where I was aiming pretty much. And I think we've all been there when all of a sudden you're like, wait, I have to make this. And I just
Absolutely.
wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, whenever
mentally.
you're asking yourself those questions over an inside the circle putt, it's never a good sign.
Yeah.
And I feel like, as professionals, even when I think I'm going to miss on those ones that range, I still kind of make
Yeah.
2/3 of them.
Sure.
But I don't feel good about it. And I try to pretend like I'm a tough guy and I knew it was going in. But I know exactly the feeling you mean. And you start to wonder why you're faced with such a difficult shot.
Whoa.
That's the
Based
greatest
it.
shot you could throw on that hole.
Yeah.
Kyle Klein.
No, you're right.
15, 16. Unbelievable.
I think those putts are easier for birdie, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think that's the first bogey we've seen on lead card today. It's pretty incredible that,
You guys are playing good.
yeah.
Paul Macbeth, a lot of green on the scorecard.
And he pops in an awkward one.
Whoa. Okay. What a putt. Paul came up to me after his round yesterday and said, I was inside circle 1 4 times all day. Kind of talking about those par rounds that you're talking about, Paul. It happens so often out here, and he still was able to manage a decent round from it. But I think the story for today is a lot different. A lot better driving off the tee, a lot more opportunities on the green.
Downhill turnover on 15, 375. Like we said yesterday, I really can't think of another hole that plays quite like this one. It's a mid-range or a fairway for most players.
I've never seen
Throw
one.
it so high to get it to work as right as it needs to.
And this is the hole that you're talking about that Eagle went over the trees.
Over the corner.
Just standing on this tee.
Like you can't, it's like the trees are twice as tall as the camera is showing us.
More of a line drive attempt from Brad, and
That'll putt.
works out okay.
Low ceiling. It'll be a little bit tricky for sure. He's still going for it. Like, why is it that high, though?
Yeah, he catches the inside corner right there and falls straight down.
Okay.
So he doesn't get around the corner.
Yeah, that can be bad.
We saw Isaac bogey from there yesterday. Oh, man.
Ooh. Crushed.
Yeah, not the kind you want.
No.
This is a great upshot from where he was.
Wow, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, really good.
If you go into that corner, most often you make bogey. I mean, he's a little bit fortunate there. He's not that far up in there. You see pretty quick couple steps, he's back in the grass. But still phenomenal.
Oh, this is certainly not easy. I mean, it's not a problem for the scrambler, but
Yeah.
for a lot of players, that might be a really frustrating 75 feet to the basket bogey. And even though you're closest, probably have the worst shot. Yeah, that's not where you want to be after what looked like a good drive out of the hand.
Yeah, it's random. Like you saw theirs.
Oh,
Whoa.
you kind of powered through better than I thought you'd be able to.
Did you think you could make that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
A little thinner than maybe it looks on
Yeah,
camera.
it looks does not look like you get
it,
through
it
it.
didn't let me through.
No,
but I
it
thought
didn't.
if everything went correctly. I
sure.
mean, if those aren't there, I think I make it.
Yep.
Good
Eagle.
save.
Great save, yeah.
Stays bogey free. I mean, even though he's dropped to 16th place for the round, he doesn't have any bogeys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a kind of a random hole. You see Brad and Ricky throw pretty similar shots. Brad has a look. He doesn't. I go higher. I go a little too far. Kyle Klein's a little inside, parks it. You know, it's just.
I think you have to play it short, like
Yeah.
into the grass. That's the really good shot. It's going to be 20, like right where the cameraman is standing.
Yeah.
That's the
exactly.
place to play it to. If you start messing with all those trees, I do agree. You're going to have some unpredictable results.
There's that Gannon Burr guy. He tends to throw shots accurately and make putts often.
Yeah. That's his job.
He's good at his job. Corey Ellis, also good at his job.
Definitely.
really good at his job.
Calvin, it's been seasoned vet. You don't get to be a good seasoned vet if you're not good at your job.
Gannon's on a heater.
So that's going to take Gannon to 19,
11 on the day.
which might be getting by you for the moment,
Right, yeah.
up into that first place territory.
Yeah, I think so. Why'd I take it so high? Dang it.
Gannon Burr, 11 under for the round.
Hey everyone, Gannon Burr here, and I want to invite you to compete in the Power Disc Golf Academy Championship Series. This is the only professional amateur nationwide disc golf series, and everyone is welcome to compete. Qualifier events will be held in cities across North America. If you place high enough at a qualifier event, you'll earn the invitation to compete in our championship event at Eagles Crossing Disc Golf Course. Scan this QR code for dates and locations of the qualifying events. We hope to see you there.
I do want to shout something out that I think is really neat from that prior hole. It's actually in the FPO division, and there is footage of it on the MPO or the FPO coverage of round 2. Go check it out. A prominent player gets their first ever tournament sanctioned ace, and the reaction is so wholesome.
Yeah, very wholesome.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful. I definitely suggest going and checking that out.
So this is just spike, roller,
Oh,
and
what?
try to do your best.
Ricky with a ninja spin?
Yeah, he did.
That's a technique I haven't seen him use yet. I like it.
Yeah, pretty good result.
I like the technique of getting up there. Fight random with random. I do feel like the entryway to this hole is just
Like you're
Kinda
saying,
weird.
Okay,
you're
I
saying
want-
throwing in a gratuitous
I
spin
want
kind
you
of
guys to
pushes
take
the
a
hole
second
off.
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
And watch this
Okay,
shot.
we got something to see.
Watch this.
Lateral movement. Oh
Shot.
boy.
Wow.
He threw that thing so far left and it went sideways.
Yeah.
Not the best camera angle, but I'm telling you, watching it
Was it like
live,
putter or?
it was putter, and me and Ricky looked at each other like, "What a horrible shot!"
Yeah,
as
because
I
it's
do
like
throw a horrible
way
shot.
out in the, way out in the
Yeah,
field.
like it looked like mine should have been. That should have been where his was,
Yeah.
and it floated like the most perfect sideways shot.
Wow.
Like somebody putted it from 100 feet up in the sky. It was really cool.
It's my favorite thing to watch in the sport of disc golf.
And I got lucky actually. Like
Yeah.
typically you can be all over the place, but I got into a spot that just gave me a little upshot all the way home.
Yeah, there's
And
much worse places.
Oh, totally.
Anywhere left
Yeah,
or right, and
25
I'm
feet.
scrambling, and I
Yeah.
can only get to 25, and that 25 footer up the hill is terrifying.
Yes.
Bradley with kind of a stabby pitch, not able to get anything behind it.
Yeah, you could see him kind of looking at it and maybe contemplating, but just not worth it. Here's Ricky from just outside the circle.
Why does this look like the most Ricky Wysocki putt ever? Oh, sends it high. I didn't doubt he was going to make that for a second.
I don't think anybody did.
I haven't doubted that he would make a putt in 15 years. I mean, I've seen him miss a lot of putts, but I've never doubted it.
Right. Oh boy. Yeah, it's time to change the shape of the hat.
Rally cap, as we call it.
That's frustrating to get so close on this hole that is so inaccessible feeling, especially with such a dramatic left to right shaping shot.
And the way his round's been going, I
Yeah.
think it's like, okay, finally. I threw a great one.
Yeah.
And then you drop a shot with the putter.
Just haven't been able to see him get into that zone where he's at 28 feet and get to see the Eagles zippy putt that I just love seeing so much.
I just wish we had a slightly better angle of that drive. I think it was a top 10 drive of the year. I'm telling you.
Drone shot would have been really cool to see the full movement.
Yeah. On to hole 17, par 4, 660. Low ceiling drive, then it kind of starts to creep uphill, wraps way around to the left. Terrible rough on the left side if you somehow find yourself with an early release or take a kick in that way. Great change, in my opinion. This basket being pushed a little bit longer puts a lot more pressure on the drive and puts a lot more pressure on the approach to be accurate. It used to be kind of a solve it with one shot type of hole. Now I think you certainly have to throw 2 nice ones to get yourself an easy putt here.
And that's under the category of nice one.
Yes.
Looks like Ricky's finally settling in. I think that he's obviously had plenty of good finishes this year, but at times settling in with or learning a new brand takes some time to figure out the tournament scenario stability. You know, there's some discs that you just need for a certain slot. Looks like he's finding his way right now pretty well.
Bradley, unfortunately, catches that Lemmy. It was looking absolutely perfect, and then just like that, it wasn't.
Tiny bit inside, but I think that should still work pretty well for Eagle.
Oh.
I didn't dislike that out of the hand, but I guess it was just a bit too high.
You know what?
Too
I
right.
got beef with this tee pad. I think it's the silliest tee pad we play ever.
Because that one tree
That
is right
tree is-
behind it?
No, there's a
so
tree
annoying.
in the tee pad.
Yeah.
Like,
that was
literally-
The
cut
tee pad
out,
is shaped
yeah.
around the tree.
No, it is. It's
Yeah,
shaped
no, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I hate it too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, you catch those limbs on the right, and they do what they did. Wasn't a good shot at all by myself.
Okay. I couldn't
Probably
quite
just need to
tell.
extend the tee pad a few feet forward, make the hole a few feet shorter to give people
Yeah,
more
yeah.
run-up room. That makes sense.
It's like it's fun when it's a gimmick on some courses,
Yeah, a little par 3 course. You're playing
but not
dubs.
on a course of
just-
this magnitude.
Yeah, I thought about it yesterday, and then I played it again today, and it really doesn't mess you up, but it's like in the middle of the tee pad, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's old school, for sure.
wow, we're gonna change a par 5 to a par 4, but we're gonna let a tree grow in the middle of the tee pad.
Interesting association, but yeah,
I'm saying, you know, get rid of it.
I'm with Nate. Just extend it a couple feet. You know, that way it's
Yeah.
not. It shouldn't really be an issue if the tee pad's longer.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that
come
was
on,
looking
man.
So good. Poor Eagle has just been really close.
I think this is why this place drives me so mad. I think it's one of the most beautiful places you can play disc golf on the planet. But I find myself hitting the exact same limb that Eagle hit on every single hole where that limb exists
Yeah.
for the entire length of the tournament.
All the holes then.
It really is. It feels like 72 holes of torture.
Well, then you're where you should be, man.
That's why I told the DGN at the beginning of the season, let me do coverage for this tournament. I have no interest in playing this place. Although it is, like I said, it's iconic. Totally beautiful.
I think they've done a great job of making it difficult enough to
Totally.
have the tour come through.
Yeah, I mean, an old school style course like this, they've made some adjustments, and the combination of the two courses really works well for the perfect layout.
How about
Brad.
Wow.
Whoa! A
Twirl.
720 celebration.
That's
He
at
was-
least like the fourth.
Yeah, he's made
Significant
some
putt.
monsters.
And he is on it today and been close on several others.
Nose up. You know, that misses. Probably
on.
going to stay pretty close. Had a lot of touch going in there. And then the 720.
Ooh!
Feeling spicy.
Yeah.
Nearly a 900. Just one more half rotation and he'd had it.
Nobody who's thinking about what they're about to do pulls the 720. Like that's
Right.
that's just the emotion, right?
Pure
That's just
joy.
Brad
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my, like he's
Yeah.
surprising himself. And
Yeah.
nobody's like, You know what might look good?
If I make
If
this
I make
putt,
this, I'm going to do a little,
2 full rotations.
so I like that.
The only planned celebration I can think of is the bazooka.
Yeah, sure. There's been some planned ones, but the 720 is not in that list.
Here's a good shot from Paul.
He hated this out of his hand. Thought he might have curbed it, but enough.
Oh, man.
Enough behind it. He was a little bit bothered by the downhill run up.
And now he's in pitch-up zone. Just exactly where you'd love to be after 2.
I think he did pitch up a zone.
Well done. And that's going to
Unintentionally
be
perfect commentary.
a tap in for a 12 under par.
Whoa.
Scorcher.
And didn't have to do it from C2 today. Just really on point off the tee. I think he was in circle 1, 14 of the 18 holes or something like that, or circle 1 or circle 2.
Yeah, it felt like that
It's
for
just
sure.
getting it done off the tee.
Evil Genius time, hole 18, par 5, 980. Up to that iconic tee pad, shooting down out of the woods. You got to stay away from the road, get as much distance as you can. Then you got to make this crossing, the right side of the road, now OB. This is the only fair territory up here this far. And then the final cross onto the island green. This is just such a great birdie if you can find a way to make it happen on the last hole.
Love this. Got the turn, trusted it over the road.
Very similar result to Paul's, but without the anxiety mid-flight.
Yeah. Ooh, kind of just squeaking past. Are you kidding me?
That's the best second shot you can throw.
Wow, he took it so close to the trees on the right. And
Oh my gosh.
insane amount of distance.
That's unbelievable.
All these guys.
And
are
Corey
going
wants it
bonkers.
too.
Like,
What are you thinking?
Throw
That's
it.
wild.
I don't even care if you go in the street long. That's like kind of that's a OB shot you can brag about.
We got eagle looks.
Yeah, all of them just throwing absolute dimes.
What a chase card performance this is so far.
Yeah, the worst one is in position that anybody in the field would love
Yeah.
to have. He's jump putting. The worst one.
It's not the same jump putt as some people.
Yeah, that's true, but
I think a lot of players could jump putt from that.
I don't
range.
think anybody else is jump putting from there.
Really?
No, they are. I'm just saying it's 100 feet.
yes, low ceiling.
Yep.
I think Kyle and I are wearing the same hat.
Oh,
Okay, we got the boring part out of the way. Now, are these guys not your hat? Well, that too, actually.
I was like, bro,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, take it easy.
I didn't mean that was boring, but now that I reflect on it, it was. But this is what I want to see.
Corey for Eagle.
Oh, man.
star frame? Are you kidding me?
And an easy one, too.
Jump putt, jump putt, jump
Yeah.
putt, jump putt.
Yeah.
Star frame.
Take a little chain for the eagle.
Had that putt fallen, it would have been the first Eagle of the weekend.
Wow.
I mean, it's not even the weekend. You know, if you really want to.
Brad, even with the lulls of non-birdies throughout the round, just getting enough of those long putts in to really just stay in the mix.
Yeah, tie a round together with those long ones, even when you aren't throwing it perfectly.
That's what's so weird about Bradley. It does seem like he's always throwing it perfect.
Yeah, but then the scorecard would prove that
Yeah.
that's not the case. Because to watch him play, you're like, yeah, he's hitting every line and kind of making every putt.
Yep.
But if you actually, you think about, there were a few times where he found himself in the woods. But he
Yeah.
also was really close on a lot of putts, too.
Right.
Like, he could have made 2 or 3 more.
I think that just equals he's a really fun player to watch.
Yes.
He's not somebody I'd recommend watching and be like, oh, I could do that easy. But he's also somebody that you can be like, oh, I could learn to do that.
He's put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
He's a guy that takes the practice serious.
Yeah, OB for Eagle, too far left.
You don't see that very often. But it is annoying when it happens. I mean, it's in the back of most players' minds, I think. You cannot be super high. You can't be screaming left. I wonder if kind of the next generation of disc golfers goes across on purpose.
Oh, this is also heading left.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a horrible shot, honestly. Straight left out the hand. I was aiming to even have a little turn on it, and it just came out with hyzer the whole way. So that was a deserved out-of-bounds stroke.
What do you think, though? Like the generation of disc golfers that makes a B feel like, holy cow, these guys are blowing my mind. Like those guys are probably on their way.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going, like in 10 years, it's like half the guys going over the road in one?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
It depends where that OB line is.
AB's not doing that.
It depends where the OB line is, I guess. And maybe it still isn't worth it because maybe you're not going to stick it on the island, even if you could clear in one. I don't know.
Just think about like an article I saw in Sports Illustrated magazine a long time ago talking about how pitchers have reached the fastest that we can humanly throw a baseball. And like, how much farther can we throw a disc is my question. AB's like the perfect height. He's athletic, super fast. How much room is there to grow other than just being more consistent?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm glad I'm not sure.
Good little tree, I think, right there.
Yeah.
Keeps him in a spot to where he can go if he wants, if he feels confident.
Eagle in a position to stay bogey-free throughout the day if he can stay in bounds here and get some good distance.
Is he going for the green? No. It looked like he threw it really hard, but it might have been a very overstable disc.
Good third shot. Ricky looking wide. Very well done. Yeah.
Just so good. I mean, you can't land that with that much angle anywhere else on the island because you got a really good chance of that squiggling out of bounds.
Yeah, I was worried about the way it hit the base of that tree and even starting to roll, even as good as it was thrown.
All right, so you have the option to try to play for the island from a tough spot, but you elected to just play for the bogey.
I mean, I had an option to. I would have had to rifle it low ceiling over the...
Sure.
Like really low ceiling over the thing. And even if, like, that's one of those plays where even if I hit the island with a perfect shot, if I hit a little bit too high, for sure out of bounds.
Yep.
There was no way for me to throw it with any touch to the green.
Well, Brad is looking to secure another birdie here after two good throws.
And I've seen this movie. I hit that curb every time. Double bogey.
Yep. I don't disagree with the play. It's just calling it out.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah, tricky stance there. Not very far from the basket, but that combination of OB low and limbs high, very stressful because you have to snap the shot. But then you worry, am I about to send this over the island? As soon as you start worrying about that, you hit the curb. There's a lot of factors here. See how easy that is. You see how easy that is.
Yeah, that's a jump putt. Afterwards, once I looked at the scores, I was like, oh, if I would have went for it, I would have remained on the lead card because this inevitably will jump me off of there.
Yep.
Then I was like, maybe, but I still think I just play it there and get out of the dodge.
Yeah, and it's not Sunday yet.
No.
You know,
shoot.
I don't. It's like
I got some birdies to help me out.
Being on the lead
early.
card's important, but I think, more important on that final day, you stay in contact. You give yourself a chance to play well. Saturday, move right back into that position.
Overall, holding down the lead by 2 strokes through 14 holes. Very impressive round. Slow finish coming in, 5 last 5 holes weren't the best, but all in all, I think this is a positive day for Paul Ulibarri. And only 3 total bogeys on the card for the day.
I helped out a little bit with that. You're welcome. You're welcome, gang. Doing what I can.
Well, Gannon Burr and Paul Macbeth tying for hot round, moving up. Gannon Burr with a 2-shot lead heading into the course that he is the most comfortable at. It's going to be tough chasing down a player who's got the distance and the putt and has all the confidence in the world. But we got a star-studded cast to try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 12 guys, I think, that we sort of talk about when we go, oh, it's a dream lead card, but that's 4 of them. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of guys, a lot of names that can slide in there, and you wouldn't be wrong. Barella, Lazat,
Robinson.
many guys. But that's a nice card right there.
Yeah, you know, it's a weird thing commentating on yourself. I'm actually happy that it's a love-hate thing at this point. I'm happy that I'm not on there, so I don't have to blab
Nice.
about all
Nice.
my stuff.
Nice.
And then I'm pissed I'm not on there because I don't have to blab about all my
I don't
stuff.
get to blab.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, I guess it's that time where we wrap up the show. Paul, I know that you have some stuff to say. Nate, you got some stuff to say. Nate, you want to go first?
I mean, what, you want me to give the people some advice?
I just think it's Nate advice time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, cook something you never cooked, you know? Like, go look up a recipe, make something you haven't made, maybe a little healthier than usual. You might surprise yourself. You might have a good time. I don't think we're probably doing that enough.
Well, cook up a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the weekend.
I thought you saw it. I could say something.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah,
I
that's
changed my
all right.
mind.
Well,
See you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.